My God, man. All right, I'm ready. All right. Can we bring in the first victim? I'll bring her in. Hold on.
Hello.
Hello, Kate.
Hi,
How are
Kate.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
I am excited.
I'm excited too.
I watched some great matches that were part of Bad Blood this weekend.
Oh, did you? Is
Yeah,
that how you achieved dump status?
No, I actually finished the Dump Matsumoto documentary as well. I was chatting with Double T about it for like 5-10 minutes yesterday.
All right, it's very nice.
When him and Manji were hiding in bushes playing Fortnite, but
I was not hiding in a bush. And
that's our thing.
You didn't even fucking warn me that you guys were playing with them. I wouldn't have played. That's neither here nor there. Kate is here to talk about Bad Blood.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I got to break. Joe Walsh says Shining Wizards starring Private Pile.
I like Joe Walsh. Life's been good to him.
Oh, sometimes.
Fucking boo. Jesus Christ.
Who's got puns for days? This guy.
Hey.
Come on.
I told y'all I got to start writing again.
You're right. You're riding shotgun in my vehicle.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Need some brain food, Tony?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Kate, overall, Bad Blood, where did it fall on the Kate the Great star rating system?
I don't do stars. I just do did I like it or didn't I? And I liked it a lot more than I've liked a lot of the more recent ones.
How many pumpkin spice lattes would you give it?
Oh my God, literally so many pumpkin spice lattes. I don't know, like a 3.5 out of 5 on the lower end, probably. I had a lot of fun watching this from front to back. I thought the pacing of it, for the most part, was a lot better than kind of a lot of the 5-match PLEs that we get. Like, I just felt like there was some more meat on the bone. And I liked that going into it, SmackDown was really good. And I liked that coming out of it, we have some stuff set up for Raw that I think will be really good tonight. So I'm kind of intrigued, but like 3.5 if I'm being harsh, 4 if I'm being generous.
2-hour Raw tonight too. Don't forget that, kids. Raw.
Oh my God! As someone who reviews this shit every day, I'm so excited to start an hour earlier.
2 hours, fantastic.
Oh, all day.
All day, every day. Punk McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. Is this it? Are we done with these guys and a bag full of beads, which I thought was a nice touch because I was for sure. I thought it was thumbtacks. I fucking ate it, and then I was like, "Wait, are they dropping fucking Legos in the ring?" No, beads.
And I did think the bead spot was inevitable.
Bead down somebody's throat.
You know what was so weird with that was when they did the forcing him to eat the beads thing, he tried to sell it like his voice was all grovelly, and then on NXT the next day he was perfectly fine. I was like, in his defense, I don't know how long a bead down the throat injury is supposed to last you, but I really, really liked this. This is by far my favorite thing that Punk has done since he's come back. It was
the only thing he's done since he's come back.
I mean, he's only done like 3 things since he's come back, but of all the matches, this was by far my favorite. It's stylistically what I would like the most. It was mostly 2 guys beating the dog shit out of each other rather than red light, green light strap match or Seth Rollins bracelet match. Like, this is so much more what I'm into. I was glad to see that Punk held up because they went really hard. And I just liked this. The only thing I would have changed was the build, and it's too late to do anything about that. Like, just kind of weird that this whole feud was built around 3 stipulation matches and no regular ones. But I liked this match the best. I hope this is it, to answer your question, Matt. Like, let's be done and move on, because that felt like a blow-off to me. But this might have been my favorite match on the card, and it was definitely my favorite Hell in a Cell match in a while, because it felt like there was some proper venom. It didn't feel like the cage was the entire story, but it assisted the story. Like, I thought they did a really great job with that opener.
Couple things that stood out to me, and I pick on AEW for commentary, and I'm going to do it here. You got to stop with the inside baseball shit. Like, you think the average fan knows what the Muda scale is that's tuning into a WWE event? You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like, this is the 57th Hell in a Cell. There's only been 57 of them. Only 57? Holy shit, really? I mean, I guess if you're comparing them to regular matches where there's probably been tens of thousands of them, it's a drop in the bucket. But you're not talking the Super Bowl here. It's a Hell in a Cell match. Just fucking call it what it is. Like, these guys want to murder each other and they're in the cage. That's all you need.
I think commentary has gotten so much better since Vince has been gone, but there is this weird thing where they have room to be smarter and sometimes they go too far with it, but then they also still spoon feed you like little kids so much else. It almost feels like we're getting two different voices from the same announcer sometimes, but I agree. I think there's a lot of refreshing things about commentary. They can say hospital now instead of local medical facility, all that kind of stuff. They're allowed to reference other...
They still say medical facility, though, by the way.
They do. They don't have to. They do sometimes.
Yeah,
but like,
what's his name? The guy from Raw, Tostito Jones, or whatever.
Joe Tessitore?
Yeah.
I've been really impressed by him early on, honestly. Like, he's really finding the balance of making it feel like a sport while also... acclimating to the fact that it's scripted really, really well. But I'm with you, Tony, on that. Sometimes they need to find the middle ground of fans being educated without getting too overkill and also not so elementary school on display stuff sometimes. So it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, how are you... Like, okay. The fan base of the WWE, right? I think we are like a niche, like, wrestling community, right? Like the people that are on like Twitter and online, like that's a very small portion of the fan base of professional wrestling. So if you're like 12 and you don't know what the Muda scale is, like, you can fucking Google it. It's not like when we were growing up, like, you didn't have a way unless you could go find old Apter magazines. Like the fact that they brought up the last Battle of Atlanta and kind of like presented it as like the genesis of Hell in a Cell. Like, I think that's cool. You need to bring history into professional wrestling. Yeah. No,
I'm with Matt on that. And you could either Google it or you could just brush it off. Like, you don't have to care that much about what the announcers say.
Like we went so long watching like wrestling where like in the Vince McMahon era where they wouldn't recognize somebody's past. Or
they wouldn't even recognize NXT on their own programs for a while. It was crazy, yeah.
Or the referees.
Yeah.
I always go kind of like towards, you're right, because we are more of the niche, right? So like, I think it's a little bit more apropos in AEW because I think their fan base is more kind of into that stylistically, where I feel like right now the WWE fan base they're rabid for what's going on right now. So I think it's good to have history incorporated. I think sometimes they'll kind of drop stuff in without letting you latch onto it. And I don't think that's kind of the type of audience that's going to go Google stuff. I was actually kind of hoping with like the genesis of Hell in a Cell, to your point, Matt, like you have a 5-match card. They could have done a really cool, like full-on production piece about that instead. Because I think that stuff is almost more valuable with everything that they do on social and things like that. They could have done some cool stuff there, but they've kind of quietly steered away from the documentaries and things.
Well, we had to show Cody Rhodes and that famous guy sitting in a shitty car outside of the State Farm Marina for 6 months.
Metro Boomin', baby.
Dude, that they would like, look, it was great. Goldberg was there and Tully and DDP and Arn and
I was surprised to see Tully, by the way.
Sean Waltman, and then like all these like I don't know who any of these fucking people are. I don't know what Amigos is. I don't know what a Metro Boomin is. Metro Boomin?
Little Baby?
Yeah, Little Baby.
I don't know what Little Baby is. That's why I call the new cat Little Baby. What you doing, little baby cat?
SmackDown got me good when they had the country singer Hardy introduce AJ Styles and he called him the Phenomenal Forearm. I don't know if you saw that, but I was in stitches. Returning the Phenomenal Forearm.
Didn't this guy have like the worst performance in like national anthem history for WWE? And
it was bad. It was really bad.
He is the Phenomenal Forearm.
I was in stitches. And it was like the beginning of the show too. Oh, it was awesome.
Let me ask you this, because Kate, you seem like you might have your fingers more on the pulse of what they're doing in WWE. Are we gonna have hosts to every PLE? Like, I did not understand why Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill were hosting, because they showed them there, and then the goofy segment backstage where I had no idea Chelsea Green even went into a dumpster, so I just thought maybe she had like a stinky hoo-ha or something.
Well, I was also just like, that's not how showers work, though. Like, she's showered since then. I don't know why you're thinking about stinky hoo-has, but that's a you problem.
Context. Like, she just showed up and they're like, "You stink," and I was like, "What is going on here?" Like, I didn't know
who problem.
I don't know if like Vince Russo was writing for WWE or something.
Fucking sounds like it. I don't know if there's always going to be hosts. They didn't really host. They like hung out in the box for a minute. That was very weird. Not the stinky box, but the. But I think it's their way of just getting some bigger names on the card. I do think they are trying to set up more continuity between SmackDown, PLE, and Raw, so that kind of weaves that in and out.
Yeah, to me, it's all.
You did hear that, right, HK?
Yes, I did.
Something's going on here. But, Kate,
it sounded like Kate used the letter U, and I'm going to leave it at that.
I don't even know what I said, but whatever.
I don't even know what's going on either. But I think to Kate's point, to get back on track while you guys hysterically laugh, I don't hate the host idea if it gets, because with 5 matches, like you're literally like cutting out like 75% of your roster from actual in-ring competition. So like to have them involved in some capacity, especially 3 of your biggest stars like Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi, like I have no issue with them having little segments here and there between the matches.
My thing is do a 6th match.
Well,
like just have them defend.
But if they're sticking to the 5-match format, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's gross.
My problem is, hi, it's Naomi, it's Jade, it's Bianca. Welcome, everybody. We're going to have a great night. And now it's time for Hell in a Cell.
I mean,
give us something else. Give us fucking Liv and Rhea. You know what I'm saying? This is like a blood feud, and you're all happy to be there. Come on, man.
Why wouldn't they
already
be happy
like
to
10
be
minutes?
Because they're about to send 2 people to a murder zone, and they're fucking all happy. Like, hey, guess what? It's the 57th annual Hell in a Cell.
My thing too was if you were gonna do that god awful segment with Goldberg and Triple H and all of that shit with that horrendous looking belt, like you had hosts that didn't come out to do with the intermittent segments is just weird. Like it feels very disjointed when you have them kick off the show and they didn't set up any angles or anything. You know what I mean? Like if it was somebody that was going after Liv or Rhea or somebody that was involved in the Nia and Bayley situation, that would make a little bit more sense. But it's not like there were any other women's tag programs on the show or anything like that. So they just were completely disconnected from it and mostly sat like in the skybox or whatever. Like it was superfluous. If you're gonna have talent host it, I think they should be at least woven into the show in a way that makes sense.
He wasn't sitting with like Lil Mike and Jelly Donut and all those guys up in the box.
I don't know. I mean,
Jelly Roll.
Well,
hosts.
yeah, that
like,
guy.
You know what I mean? Like they're not. Like if you take host in the literal meaning of the word, they're here to welcome you to the show. They're here to make sure that you're entertained, and they welcomed us to the show and they entertain people in the skybox. To me, that's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned.
I'd love to have 3 ladies entertain me in a skybox, but that's a story for another day.
All right there, Vince.
Ha ha! Come here. 6 of them, huh?
Gotta go. Feeling weird. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, you mentioned the horrendous title.
You're so ugly.
This might be the first on paper. I think like we're gonna have champion versus champion of the crown jewel, but neither title's on the line. They're gonna wrestle for this. I kind of feel like this is a swing and a miss.
Yeah, this whole segment to me was kind of a swing and the miss. Like I feel like it's kind of good in that they've just admitted that what happens at the Saudi shows is just not a part of what's going on, really. Like, it is a glorified house show, but to have this title when they already had a title that doesn't get defended also from Saudi Arabia shows past is weird. I hate champion versus champion when no title is on the line for another title that doesn't mean anything. It's just a bad way to go about business.
And the fact that you don't have to lose it, I'm guessing, like
Ever,
if you lose the WWE championship, you're no longer in contention for this championship. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird one. I think they're trying to figure out how to do. They get paid so damn much for those shows that they have to produce like absolute top talent, but they can't really do anything on those shows that move storyline along because there are going to be people with ethical issues that don't want to go over there, and not everyone feels comfortable going or tuning in and things like that. So like I think part of why we saw Punk collapse at the end of the Hell in a Cell match, right, is like I don't think he's going to Saudi Arabia. So there's going to be talent that are in and out of that. Most of them now it seems like will, but I think this is their way of trying to make something seem of value to the live crowd without really affecting the plans going into Survivor Series and kind of your usual rhythm of stuff. I think it's bad. Like
it's a total gimmick show. It's a total gimmick show.
Yeah, it's a house show with top talent and legends that you'll ever have. Like it's gonna be what it's been the entire time.
Isn't it more likely though that the sponsor of the show said, "We want a title. Here's the title. Figure it out." Like the speed title. That's
the
strictly
sponsor of the show is the government of Saudi Arabia.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean, like the speed thing is strictly a Twitter gimmick. We want a title. Here it is. Like, isn't that more likely than WWE going, "We're going to create a belt for you guys, and it's only going to be defended once, and then the guy won't have to do." You know what I mean? Like, I think it's more likely that it came from the sponsor than it came from WWE.
I mean, the sponsor thought Yokozuna was alive, so I don't think they're really that tuned in. But they've I don't think there's been any issue with them doing it the way they've done it before. But I don't know either way, quite frankly. But like, my guess is it comes from WWE because it's such a creative inevitability that they're not going to change titles there. That they probably just wanted to do something different. I felt like the way that they did like King of the Ring finals and stuff in Saudi Arabia was a good idea. Like it was stuff that had some stakes on it, but wasn't title based. But I think it sucks either way, regardless of who's making the call. I don't like it. It's a really ugly belt. But it felt like anytime in any company that it's like someone makes a major announcement, I'm just like, okay. No, you're not, though, because this was the most anticlimactic stuff ever. Like, it's the same on both sides. But yeah, I could stand to go a PLE without Triple H coming out to like for a while. It would be nice.
Well, you know, he's got to save face because you know his father-in-law's piece of shit and it's all over.
Correct. Yes, that is true. And I thought the Gunther Goldberg stuff was really stupid too. Like,
oh, that's okay. I think Gunther loses tonight to Sammy because of Goldberg, and you get Walter Goldberg in Saudi Arabia
with I think a triple threat with Braun Breaker, so they can do the oh my god, you have an incredible spear. Oh my god, you had an incredible spear, but now you're 57. Yeah.
Do you guys not remember Goldberg last time in Saudi Arabia?
Was that Undertaker?
Yeah, they almost murdered each other because they couldn't breathe.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's possible.
Well, I mean, look, anything with brand supremacy is right up my alley and okay in my book.
Let's rock and roll. You're in Survivor Series season. You are
ridiculous.
On the road to brand supremacy, my friend.
They're going to sell a ton of these belts as replicas in Saudi Arabia. So every time they go back, every kid's going to have a green belt, and it's going to be awesome. I just want Braun Strowman to bring back his greatest Royal Rumble title and defend that thing.
That's it. Poor dude. That guy tore his groin, I think, like 2 minutes into that.
He's doing it wrong, man.
Like 2 minutes into that match last week, and credit to him because he showed out. Like he He was jumping off the top rope and shit against Bronson Reed. Like, God bless him. He's really fun when they just let him be Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. Speaking of brand supremacy, Kate's going to be on Fightful Select tonight with Alex Sourgraps.
Yes.
They'll be talking Raw, and that's a 2-hour Raw, so it'll be early. And if Kate's not distracted by the Yankees, she will actually she'll be engaging during the Raw post show. So be sure to tune in for that. Kate, this is always a pleasure.
Thank you,
We
sir.
appreciate you joining us at Miss Kate Fabe on the Twitter machine. If you're not following Kate, you should be. And if you're not listening to her on her many platforms, Tuesday Night with Alex, Wednesday night, The Mark Order, Ring of Honor. I don't know how you still watch that.
I don't know either.
God bless you, our child. What, Kate is a child of the Shining Wizards.
I am. I'm proud to be. But thanks for having me on. It was fun to talk some Bad Blood with y'all.
We saved the good stuff just for us, Kate. So enjoy the rest of your night and your Monday Night Raw, and your good luck to the Yankees.
That's very kind coming from a Mets fan.
I'm not worried about the Yankees. I hope Philadelphia burns to the fucking ground. And all you fucking
That is
live there.
that is a fair first priority for sure.
Like that. I like
Let's
that.
go Yankees.
Yeah, you shit.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Thanks, fellas.
Kate.
Bye, Kate.
Bye, Kate.